One of the state's most decorated officials, Burney Jenkins, has dedicated nearly 40 years of his life to Kentucky high school sports as a referee, an umpire, and later as an assigning secretary, all for the love of the game. Over the years, Jenkins has called 4 state football championships, 5 state basketball finals, and 5 state baseball tournaments, in addition to countless contests and a National Football League game in 2001. As an undergraduate student at Georgetown College, Jenkins got into officiating as a way to make some extra money, a decision that would eventually develop into a lifetime career path. He began teaching at Georgetown Middle School after graduating, where he coached for 28 years, 18 as a head coach. Urged by Principal George Lusby to get back into officiating, Jenkins returned to football officiating and took up baseball 3 years later. In the years that followed, Jenkins went on to work 9 regional tournaments, 7 regional finals, 7 state tournaments, 5 of those in basketball. Upon retiring from officiating, Jenkins spent 6 years as the JV supervisor of officials for the 10th and 11th region before becoming the supervisor of officials for the 8th region in 2001, a job he still holds today. As a supervisor and a teacher, Jenkins strives to instill in others his beliefs that integrity, honesty, and trustworthiness are the cornerstones of officiating, and that every game should be treated like a state championship. He teaches others to rely on the abilities they're blessed with while maintaining humility at all times. In 2003-2004, he was honored with the KHSAA Supervisor of the Year Award and was inducted into the Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame as an official later that year, having worked 31 regional tournaments, 15 state sectionals, and 5 state tournaments, 4 of those in the championship finals. In addition to working games at the high school level, Jenkins was a longtime collegiate official in football and basketball for several conferences, including the Ohio Valley, Gulf South, and Mid-South. He worked the NAIA National Football Playoffs and the NAIA Men's Basketball Tournament for 8 years, as well as 4 NCAA 1AA National Football Playoff games and the FCS National Championship game in 2009.
Well, I'd like to thank my wife, Trina. She has been with me for 10 years coming up in July, and she has been a real inspiration to me as an official and helping me with a lot of things in officiating. And also Dr. Jake Bell, who recommended me for this great honor. And this is something I never thought that I would ever achieve, but I'm so thankful for those two and their part into this. The late Jack and Billy Wise got me involved. The late Commissioner Lewis Stout, who got me involved in baseball and others. There's been numerous ones. Ken Cox. There has been Dave Bear and some of the others that I've worked with over the many years. What probably was my first few years as a varsity official, we used to work in the mountains on Tuesdays and Fridays. Had McDowell at Wheelwright, and that's the first time I've ever been in the mountains as for refereeing for basketball. And you know, if you've never been around mountain basketball, it's very competitive, very, very. It was one of those games where it was not the best officiated game on our part, but it wasn't the best played game. And I'm telling you what, we were lucky we didn't have a brawl. That's the good thing about that. And we tried as best as we could. And this big, robust, fat lady is wearing me out. She started on me in the first game, and I said, okay, I am not going to listen to this anymore. So I heard about all I wanted to hear, so I just turned around and told her, I said, you know what, lady, your problem is you need to lose some weight. You need to get the Weight Watchers, whatever. So, and then she really started wearing me out then. And I said to myself, that's probably not the smartest thing you need to say, especially when you're the only one that looks like you up here and you're in these mountain folks. And I said, so I kept on going. Game's over with. We go to the locker room, and we're trying to get into the locker room, and it's locked. And so the custodian came by. I said, sir, we need to get in this dressing room here. Well, sir, I ain't got a key to that room. He said, that belongs to the athletic director. So I said, well, I really need to get to the dressing room to get dressed to go home. He said, well, I'll take you out there and you can get it from him. So I said, okay, take me out there. So he took me out there, and I said, can you tell me where the athletic director is at? Yeah. She's standing right over there. And I said, Lord Jesus, no. And I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, no, she's the acting athletic director. It happened to be the big fat woman that I had that told to need to lose some weight. And I said, ma'am, I am so sorry the way I acted. I said, I don't know, maybe I didn't take my medication or something, but I am so sorry. For 10 to 15 minutes, she is wearing me out. And I said, okay. I said, ma'am, can I get in my dressing room? Can I go home? She said, yeah, I'll let you in. So she let me in. On the way back, I get home, I get a call from my supervisor, Howard Rogers. He says, Mr. Jenkins, something you want to tell me? I says, well, Howard, where do I begin? He said, your comments to the athletic director. I said, yeah, I apologize for that. I probably should have said that. But she said, I will write her a letter, whatever I need to do. He says, no, you gotta do that. They got a makeup game Tuesday. And you know what? She wants you to come back and work that game. And I said, do I have to? He said, well, if you want to stay in officiating, you're going to do this. I said, well, so 40 years later, to answer, yes, I did go back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2013 Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Burney Jenkins.